all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today we've got a solid matchup in store in the NFC, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
At their own 33-yard line.
Baker going to throw this right away. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
2nd down and 3. Baker going to give it to Irvin. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
7-yard gain.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 7. In motion, the tight end. Play fake. Mayfield. He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka. It'll be a gain of 5. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football. Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Irving. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now this now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Chris Godwin, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are on the board first here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Chase McLaughlin.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there.
30-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Vita Vea stopped that play in its tracks.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Jones. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A big pickup of 38.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking this secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. There to drop him behind the line was Logan Hall. Great effort.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Throwing Jones. Completes it to Jennings. So the completion good for 7 there. And they're going to have a third down.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Back to throw. Jones. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2nd and 6. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Out of the gun now on third down. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Niners are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Back to the ground attack here is McCaffrey. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Partner, it's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey from 4 yards out. And the 49ers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll make it 3rd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 37. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game. Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's got it. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Irving. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with the touchdown run.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Buccaneers 14, 49ers 7.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Oh, what a move. And able to get this out to the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
1 yard gain.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that will bring up second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They go play action here on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But only guys can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Now a give, Irving running right. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And that's complete to Shepard. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Buccaneers.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
A run up the middle with Irving. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Two chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw, Mayfield. A quick throw there is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Mayfield down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. But he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Well, they'll try it now with Irving. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure he got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This 2nd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Bucs on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
On the handoff, this is Irving. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Bucky Irving with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are going to take the lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
14.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Looking deep for Jennings. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Mayfield to throw it. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now a 3rd and 6. Now Mayfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Mayfield showing he can be fleet of foot, picking up the first down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Here's a handoff to Irvin. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense says they have it. They do. One play into the ball game, an early turnover. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Mayfield looks to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Only 3 there on the screen at second down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They run out of the gun with Irvin. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
At the 4-yard line.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Mayfield. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Bucky Irving on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Buccaneers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here. But with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
A throw left side for Pearsall is complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down. Looking to throw. Jones. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. That's caught out right by Jennings. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw over the middle, pulled in here by Farrell. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9 yards and a 49er 1st down.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Oh, nice move. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively. You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. Pass caught by Pearsall. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
It's a gain of 13, but it brings up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jones will sneak it, and it's a fumble. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the 3rd quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage are so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. This is McCaffrey on the give. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd down and 4. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to have a Niners first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Here's Pearsall on the jet sweep. On this one, it may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big, or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. In motion goes the tight end. Now Jones going to throw on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
A 21-yard attempt.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 21. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. They'll set up to throw. There's a quick pass. He's got Chris Godwin. And Godwin going to have a Bucs first down as the tackle made up around the 33-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
76 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Back on the horse after his fumble. Nothing spectacular run.
Ball on the 39. Here's a 2nd and 4. Well, the jet sweep. This is Godwin. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
A 4-yard gain.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. 2nd down and right back to McCaffrey. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Throwing, Jones. Looking deep for Jennings. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Johnson on the return. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his receiver. That's Ibuka. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 43 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa. Looking to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Sterling Shepard from 10 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Now a hit and a loose football. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Jones. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there, because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they're able to execute it successfully on that play.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle, because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones gets around him, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and
And he's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
Well, we've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And coughed it up! And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Recovered by San Francisco.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll give it up to McCaffrey.
61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Niners on 3rd down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones.
And that one behind his receiver and incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And this is up and good from Pinheiro.
And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
Eddie Pinheiro
after the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
Coach will just be relieved if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think Coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Baker going to give it to Irving.
And he'll be blocked down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 8 at the 39-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
This is about what you'd expect. Defense selling out to stop the run. Pretty good on first and second down.
Yeah, you're no longer really worried about making sure you're holding up the offensive lineman as a defensive lineman. Now you're just talking about getting in gaps. You're trying to get upfield, penetrate, and make a play on the football, especially, before the running back really gets control of it. That's what you're doing. You're also bringing the linebackers in to jam the line of scrimmage, and a safety or two is going to be there as well.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They're going to snap this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
The punt team and Vernon out there as he gets this one away. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Looking to put a drive together. Jones throwing to start the drive. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll make it second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
To throw again on second down. Jones over the middle. That's complete to McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey going to pick up a Niners first down as he's got it up to the 28-yard line.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
The throw left sideline falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Back to throw again. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Pass incomplete.
It's 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time now. Here's Jones. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet and look successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
Here's 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Mac Jones, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Pinheiro now to add the extra point.
And this is back to a 5-point game.
Makes the score Buccaneers 35, 49ers 30.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Once again, it's Irving. Ooh, the juke. And showcasing those strong legs on that run. Getting through 1 tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. On the jet sweep, this is Godwin. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and 4. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he is going to have a Bucs first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.